in our conclusion, in our kind of main point here, I want to make a few observations about what motivates and fuels the worship of the seraphim. I want you to consider something. These seraphim, their name means the burning ones. It takes men and women, young and old, set ablaze to fuel night and day prayer, to fuel prayer of any kind. And the only way you're set ablaze is if you have eyes to see. And the Lord wants to give the church across the earth eyes to see. This is just one aspect of the promise of Luke 4:18, recovery of sight. He wants to answer the blindness of the Laodicean church with the eye salve of the outpoured Spirit to those that will admit, I don't see his beauty. I'm willing to say, I am not moved by the beauty of God, nor am I moved by his story to respond to it. In fact, I'm disconnected to it, but I want to see it. Consider what fuels the seraphim. They dwell in God's temple, ministering to God. They are not trying to change the atmosphere of the holy city. It can't be improved upon. They're not contending, in one sense, in their geographic area for revival. In fact, they are the picture of what we're trying to get on earth. Consider the fact that the seraphim have never been forgiven one sin. They've never had one ailment or sickness healed. Not one of their 6 wings is clipped and chained to the sea of glass, and they're held there by divine decree of duty to be on automatic repeat. Why do they praise if they have not been forgiven, if they have not known the kindness of God and the healing of their bodies? What and why are they worshiping without ceasing? What's the impetus? What's the force? What's the thrust of their praise? Consider something else of what is not motivating them. Now, just so you know, prayer and worship will change the atmosphere of a city. Prayer and worship will be a means to the end of blind eyes opening, will be a means to the end of sicknesses being cast out and devils being driven out from people that are oppressed. It will be. But the representatives of the burning ones that are fueling worship around the throne are not worshiping by that fuel. It's not wrong to worship because of that fuel. It's just that those things, prayer and worship, is not simply a means to an end. It's the end. Consider one more thing about the seraphim. I'm going to get a little humorous here. There is no potential for personal advancement if they just stay steady. What do you mean? Well, the singular word for seraphim, if there's just one, is seraph. So ox seraph is like leading the holy, holy, holy for a few centuries. It's not as if the lion seraph just presses into worship for a few more years, he's going to get his breakthrough. And they'll be like, lion seraph, you've been faithful. You've been persevering, and I recognize your perseverance, your faithfulness, and because of that, you're now going to be chief seraph. You're finally going to enter into your calling to lead the other 3. There's zero personal advancement if they stay steady. Why do they worship without end? What is the fuel? Well, let me throw one other consideration out. Consider what we really give lots of time, energy, and motivation for in our day. What do we want to have access to 24/7? Hospitals? I want a hospital open near where I live. One of my babies or wife gets sick. and somebody can tend to them. I want, in the place of prayer, we're contending for healing, but I want hospitals open to serve the scores of people that are served by hospitals. I want gas stations open. I'm on a family trip. I want to be able to fuel my gas. I don't want to show up at a gas station when the times run out. I like grocery stores open 24/7. That's nice. I want to get groceries if I need to. People working all the different times of day. I like McDonald's open 24/7. I'll just admit, I like that. Taco Bell too. So, yet there is something that even I, having done night and day prayer for over 20 years, am still crying out to God to have blindness removed in this way. I can easily see, no, it is right that hospitals through the cities of the earth are open 24/7, and gas stations and grocery stores to tend to the needs of men. But yet, in the heart of our own hearts and churches, we question, is it really practical to give this kind of time, attention, and money, and resource, and personnel to worship and prayer? I mean, isn't it kind of like a bearing of a talent? Why would you just have people crying out night and day and night? And I believe what the Lord wants to open us up to today is, He's not practical, He's beautiful. He's not practical, He's beautiful.